Now, hip-hop is a very competitive sport, and sometimes things can go left from the sport's natural competitive nature. Now, the mecca of hip-hop in New York was very competitive, especially in the DVD era. From 50 Cent beefing with Fat Joe, Cameron, Jadakiss, and the list goes on, or even Maino's altercation and fight with Little C's. But New York has always been known to battle and compete. But in today's video, we're going to get into 3 very popular altercations that happened in the DVD era. This is Beef Reloaded Part 1. Now let's get into it. Now, Loon is a rapper from Harlem, New York. Around 1989, Loon migrated to LA because all the trouble he was getting in NY. While Loon was in LA, he became a member of the Crips and also got his name Looney from all the work he was putting in. After returning to Harlem, Loon would eventually start writing poetry, which eventually led to him pursuing a rap career. Loon would get his first record deal around 1996 with Tommy Boy Records, but became more known after becoming a member of Mase rap group Harlem World. It wouldn't be until Loon signed to P. Diddy's Bad Boy Records when Loon would get his big mainstream success, putting out radio-friendly records like I Need a Girl 1 and 2 and Down For Me featuring Mario Winans. Now in the DVD era, Loon appeared on the Real Talk DVD where he aired out fellow Harlem rappers Mase, Cameron, and Jim Jones, stating that they were just rappers and they didn't really live the lifestyle they were promoting in their music. After this DVD was released with Loon spilling his feelings about some of his peers from Harlem, this has started back and forth with mainly Loon and Jim Jones and a few other members of Dipset.
Jim Jones might have took his shit and flipped it and turned it to some whole other gang banging bullshit. That wasn't what the Harlem Diplomats was about.
Loon and Jim Jones would get on DVDs like Sub-Zero and trade jabs with one another. This would eventually lead to Loon having problems with other Dipset members J.R. Ryder and 40 Cal, who Loon once had a relationship with. Now, according to Loon, he says he actually was the first person to help 40 Cal record around 15 songs in the studio. But due to Loon problems with Dipset at this time, Loon and 40 Cal will fall out and eventually have an altercation that was well documented in the DVD era. Now, supposedly, Loon seen 40 Cal in a barbershop that they both went to in Harlem. Now, while 40 Cal is sitting down getting the shape up, Loon grabs a shovel and start to hit 40 Cal with it. But 40 Cal doesn't remember the situation going that way. So this is an article from 40 Cal with hiphopdx.com explaining the whole situation with him and Loon inside the barbershop. I'm going to tell y'all the real story because I'm a real dude. I'm in a barber shop and me and Loon has the same barber. He's from the hood prior to this incident. I'm about to explain. I ain't see Loon in like 2 years. I heard he moved to Atlanta or something. So I'm getting my hair lined up or whatever by the barber. Here comes Loon walking in and he talks to some of the barbers. They all cool. It's like the show The Shop. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody know each other and all that. Just cool. I'm getting my cut and Loon comes in and says my name like in a joking way. Like, yo, 40. Like, he's saying what up to me. I said nothing. I continue getting my cut. He's mad with a couple people in back of me. I don't know. They talking or whatever. Loon is in back of them. He grabs a shovel from the closet and out of nowhere he swings while I'm getting lined up and hits me in the shoulder. So I get up looking at him and he swings, but I block it with my arm and snuff him. He dropped the shovel and I threw him in the chairs. He's under me because I threw him in the chairs. He tries to pick me up. He almost picks me up, but I snuff him again. So he dropped me. He falls off me, then dudes break it up. I tell Loon, let's take it outside. Let's fight again. Like, you know, let's get it over with. You got something on your chest? Loon grabs the shovel again. I say, you can't fight without the shovel? This guy drops the shovel and go runs and jump in some little hoopty. I didn't start laughing. I'm still mad at what's going on. I just go finish getting my lineup and call a few of my guys and call it a day. He wasn't nowhere to be found for the day. That's the story. I mean, if a dude want to get points off that because he mad at Jimmy, so he try to get at me and try to get a point, he get nothing. He lost points. I heard he broke his pinky after the whole incident. He got a few marks on his face or something from a couple jabs I gave him. Me, there's nothing wrong with me. Like, it's verified. I done took a few pictures. I'm about to make another video. I might make another mixtape called on Beat Me in My Head Volume 1. I'll see him when I see him. It's nothing, you dig? Now, after the whole altercation with Loon and 40 Cal, they both would get on hip-hop DVDs and talk about the situation. Now, actually, after this whole altercation, too, they were on Hot 97 live on air speaking about the situation with DJ Envy and Miss Jones.
I got up, snuffed him up, threw him in the chairs. He ran, broke his feet. Dude sound like Steven Seagal in every statement he makes.
Now, after they were on air at Hot 97, 40 Cal would drop a diss record called Rockabye Baby, Getting That Loon. Now, after the whole back and forth live on Hot 97 with Loon and 40 Cal, and after 40 Cal put out his diss record towards Loon, when Loon was on these underground hip-hop DVDs and they asked him about the fight with 40 Cal, he had kind of shy away from the question and act like it never happened. He was looking at it from a perspective as like he don't have a squeaky clean record, and what happens in the streets is stay in the street.
And dog, stop making all these statements talking about hit you with a shovel and did all this shit to you, B. I ain't do nothing to you.
Now, even though Loon kind of stopped talking about these street situations on these hip-hop DVDs, he would still put out a mixtape for the Wizard of Harlem, which was like a mixtape album. And on this mixtape album, he had a diss record for Jim Jones called Jimmy. Now, on that same mixtape, the outro was actually him and 40 Cal at Hot 97 speaking about their fight that they had in the barbershop. Now, Big Truck, whose real name is William Robinson, he's a rapper from Long Island, New York, and he's worked with other artists from Long Island like Keith Murray and Busta Rhymes. And he actually was supposed to be a member of Flipmo Squad. Now, he went to prison a few times, and he even went to prison for first-degree assault, bail jumping, and possession of a weapon, and he was sentenced that time to 8.5 to 10 years. Now, supposedly, Big Truck is a real street dude that really was putting in work and living that life. He just was trying to make a transition to the rap industry. Now, Cutmaster C, he introduced Big Truck and Uncle Murda to each other in a store in Long Island, like those that sell a mixtape, DVDs, and a few t-shirts and all that. And, you know, they met each other. They showed each other love. Uncle Murda thought it would be a good idea that him and Big Truck did a record together. And, you know, they exchanged numbers. Now, weeks would go by and Big Truck wouldn't hear nothing from Uncle Murda. Now, at this time, I believe Uncle Murda signed a deal with Rockefeller. And, you know, he was just bubbling. He was kind of hot. So, you know, he probably was a little busy. Now, Big Truck said he didn't hear nothing from Uncle Murda. And after a while, as time went on, he decided to just call Uncle Murda. And he said he got his answer machine. He said once he got his answer machine, he like, yo, F this dude. He a fronter. Now, the whole situation that sparked off the beef between Uncle Murda and Big Truck is one of Big Truck's homeboys had beef with Cutmaster C. So when Cutmaster C came to that same store that Big Truck and Uncle Murda met each other, it was guys outside that was waiting to jump on Cutmaster C, beat him up, dig his pockets, and record it for another DVD. So finally, Cutmaster C will holla at Big Truck, and Big Truck will be like, yo, I'm going to give you a pass. This is my hood. I run this hood. I'm going to give you a pass. Ain't nobody going to touch you. Now, Cutmaster C goes, get in his car, and as he get in his car, Big Truck is like, yo, tell Murda he ain't a real dude because he don't do real things. I'm a real dude because I'm doing real things. I just gave you a hood pass. I could have let all them dudes outside get at you. And Cutmaster C like, nah, I ain't telling Murda that. Now, as Cutmaster C left, 5 minutes later, he got a phone call from Uncle Murda. Now, Big Truck and Uncle Murda's on the phone arguing, going back and forth. And Big Truck said he was just like, look, man, I don't do all of this on the phone thing. When you see me, I'm going to be everything that I say I am. And you just better be everything you saying you are on this phone when I see you.
Fucking mans ain't got no heart. When I see you, I'ma stay popping off. That's how the fuck I get down there.
Now, Uncle Murda has a show at Hot 97. And he's on stage performing. Now, while he's kicking a freestyle, you hear dudes rush the stage. They get Uncle Murda attention, and his Big Truck, along with Kevlar, rushing the stage. Now, it's security in between them trying to break it up. And, you know, eventually Kevlar and Big Truck get pushed off the stage, and somebody from GMG throws a microphone, and it hit Big Truck like in his face. Now, according to Big Truck, when he got outside, they tried to rush the GMG dudes, and security got in the way again and broke it up. Now, not too long after the whole altercation between Kevlar, Big Truck, and Uncle Murda, sadly, Kevlar was killed after an altercation he had in Brooklyn. Now, for those who don't know who Kevlar was, he was a street dude from Brooklyn that did a lot of time in prison, came home, and started to Step Your Game Up DVD, trying to make a buzz for himself. so he could get in the rap industry. And Kevlar actually was killed in March 2008, so it was real crazy in the streets around this time. Now, of course, after this situation was caught on camera of him running down on Uncle Murda, you know, Big Truck started to get a lot of attention, and I guess that's what he was looking for. He created a little buzz for himself, and he started doing a lot of DVDs. Now, Uncle Murda even made a diss record towards him called Record Deal, where he came at Big Truck. Now, Big Trucker found himself with some more legal issues. Now, supposedly, after he moved upstate, he caught 2 cases. One of the situations was him cutting a guy's face. But after they did some investigation, they found out he was being robbed, and he did it in self-defense. And the second situation he had was a retaliation assault for the murder of his brother when his brother was killed in front of the club or whatever out there. Now, if you're not familiar with Bunky SA, he's a rapper from the Bronx, New York. He reps Max out. Now, he was originally working with Lil' Kim, and he wrote a few records on her La Bella Mafia album, and he also wrote for Benzino when Benzino was dissing Eminem. Now, Bunky SA hooked up with Lil' Kim because his homeboy Al Jeter and Ill Bill started Max out with D-Rock, who was Junior Mafia and Biggie homeboy, and Lakey the Kid. Now, Al Jeter was doing security for Puff, and Ill Bill was down with Junior Mafia in his later years. So basically, Bunky SA was in the loop with Lil' Kim because they had a lot of mutual friends and peoples, and she gave him a phone call to come down to the studio. And according to him, he ain't have nothing going on. He was living in the projects, so of course he was gonna go to the studio and work with Lil' Kim. So he was down with Queen Bee Records, and you know, he was in the loop with her for the La Bella Mafia album, and that's before Maino came on board and started working with Kim actually too. And also, Bunky SA got writer's credits for the La Bella Mafia album and a platinum plaque from Atlantic Records. And Bunky SA used to be real cool with Math Hoffa as well. So for y'all that think he just came out of nowhere getting that Maino, he had a little name for himself. Now, the beef between Bunky SA and Maino started because at the time, Bunky SA fell out with Lil' Kim, and he started rocking with Little C's. You get what I'm saying? And at the time, Little C's and Maino had the whole feud going on. So Bunky SA was trying to hold down Little C's in the situation. And at this time, Maino was rocking with Lil' Kim, and Lil' Kim wasn't rocking with Little C's because she felt he snitched on her. So now Maino comes into an event that Bunky SA's in already. Maino walk around the event saying what's up to everybody he know, and then he runs into Bunky SA, and he press him like, "Don't I know you from somewhere?" And Bunky SA like, "I don't know." He like, "Yeah, I do know you from somewhere. What's your name?" He like, "Bunky." He like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I seen you on them DVDs talking crazy. Like, is it a problem or something?" And Maino basically like, "You know about me, right?" And Bunky SA wasn't like really answering him. And then Maino lifts his shirt up and flashes his gun. And like, "You know about me, right?" And you know, Bunky SA kind of complied, and Maino kind of walked off. Now, that particular incident right there happened in 2007.
I try to keep this shit street. They showed me a rap shit in 07. Y'all heard me make a fucking song? I was gonna clap this nigga when I seen him.
And you know, in the DVD era, Bunky SA was outside. You get what I'm saying? He was in the loop. He'd be with Huddy Six or Young Six making his rounds. And the next time he ran into Maino was in Club Perfections, a strip club in Queens, actually. And according to Bunky SA, he says Maino was grilling him, looking at him while he was in the club. He in there smack, he drunk, he off E-pills, turned up, and he walked to Maino like, "Yo, like, I ain't with the face fighting."
I approached Maino as a man, told him I'm not with the face fighting game. He said some bull. K-Slay pulled him out the way after I tried to choke him.
And he said K-Slay jumped in between them and grabbed Maino as he was trying to choke Maino. He said they turned the cameras on and they got it popping, and that's when they jumped Bunky SA in that strip club. They beat him up. He was trying to reach for the register, and it just got crazy. Now, Bunky SA said the reason he reached for the register was to hit one of them upside the head, but it was chained down to the bar, so it couldn't come off of the table. So, you know, they jumped him. He was bleeding, but they never knocked him out or nothing like that. He stood up, you know, and took his licking. Now, the footage of Bunky SA being jumped by Maino and Hustle Hard was on World Star, and you know, Bunky SA actually responded to the video being posted on World Star on Forbezdvd.com. Now, from this interview, he got a lot of attention, and his buzz started to pick up a lot because he was on Nostrand Ave burning Maino's black flags that he was wearing at the time, and he was calling Maino out to a fight. He said we could lock in the elevator and fight for 10,000. I'll put a cigarette in my mouth and we could get it on. And he was disrespecting Maino and coming at Maino. From there, his whole little buzz picked up. So now Maino never really responded to this interview of Bunky SA on Forbezdvd.com and WorldStar because, you know, at the time Maino was lit. This was like 2010. He done had a few hit records out and he was doing his thing. So I guess he ain't really want to give Bunky SA no clout. But his homeboy, Hustle Hard Gotti, responded to Bunky SA, and he exposed the fact that Maino backed the slammer out on him when he seen him at the event he was at, and he also explained them beating him up and jumping him, and you know, he had a little entertaining response.
You was holding on to the cash register like you was trying to get your money back. What you wanted, a refund? What you needed, change?
And Hustle Hard Gotti actually said that he would fight for the $10,000 against Bunky SA because there's not enough money for Maino, but he needed the 10 grand, so he'll fight Bunky SA for it. And then, you know, Bunky SA responded with another Forbezdvd interview, and he continued to talk about Maino, disrespect him, explain the whole situation with him getting jumped, saying like it was mad at him and he was twisted and they still couldn't knock him out. And he explained like Maino was emailing him, threatening him and all that. And then after that, he dropped like a diss record towards Maino. Now on this diss record called No Subliminals, Bunky SA explains being in White Plains at a video shoot 100 deep. He says Vado was there, Cameron was there, Cassidy, Funk, Flex, Bully from D Block, and they all was there. Maino was scared to get out his car. So it's like he was picking his battles wisely. I don't know how true it is or the reason Maino ain't get out, but that's what Bunky SA say on No Subliminals diss record. Now, Bunky SA will go on and do a few more interviews about the situation with him and Maino, and then the situation just kind of died out. Now, Bunky SA is currently in federal prison, I believe. He's making freestyle videos from his prison cell. So if he's locked up right now, free that man. And, you know, this is just a breakdown on the whole Bunky SA and Maino situation y'all been asking for. But tell me what y'all feel like. Do y'all feel like Bunky SA was trying to get some clout off of Maino, or what he was doing was called for? You get what I'm saying? Maino backed the slammer out on him. Well, flashed the slammer at him. And, you know, they jumped him, so he did what he had to do to speak his piece. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, if you're a fan of these old hip-hop stories, tell a friend about my page. Like, comment, subscribe. More content coming.